All right, let me go back to that story about the suspension, precautionary suspension of Mkhululi Lukhele, the HOD of Gauteng Health. And I was talking to Thabo Masebe, who speaks on behalf of the Gauteng provincial government. And Thabo, you were telling me what it is that Professor Lukhele is said to have done or failed to do, according to the SIU, that led to his suspension.
Yes, as the head of the department, he is expected to have ensured that proper procurement procedures are followed. And so by omission or commission, he is responsible because he is the head of department. Ultimately, it is his responsibility to ensure that all proper procurement procedures are followed. Then, by him not having acted accordingly, the department has now incurred fruitless and wasteful expenditure, and obviously he's got to be held accountable for that.
Does it appear to you, Thabo, that he was part of a scheme, or is the SIU saying anything in that regard? Was he part of the scheme to loot, or is it just mere dereliction of duty?
Well, at the moment, it could just be dereliction of duty. The investigations continue, so as and when they find more information, they will be able to pass that on to us. But at the moment, we're dealing with the fact that he failed to act as the head of the department.
And I remember some time ago, part of the description of how the procurement was being done for these PPEs, that there was this absurd situation where officials were basically sitting on the phone and calling anyone and saying, would you happen to be able to supply this, and you've got the job, and moving to the next person. Understanding, of course, that there was a sort of a sense of urgency and emergency procurement was there, but I doubt very much that's how you do emergency procurement. In terms of the responsibilities that Professor Lukhele failed to undertake in this case, does this have to do with the payments that went through, even at the moment at which questions were being asked about this particular contract?
Both the awarding of contracts and payment of services rendered. As the head of the department, he's supposed to approve all of those processes. So the fact that contracts were awarded irregularly and that payments were made, it's all of those things he should be held accountable for.
Lastly, Thabo, any word on when we will know whether the health MEC Bandile Masuku will be returning to his post or will be leaving his post? Any word when we will know, when Premier Makhura will make up his mind on that?
Well, the SIU will continue to update him, and we expect that in the next week they will be able to give him an update. If there is any information which requires him to take action against the MEC or to decide whether the MEC should return to work, he will be able to do so. He understands that he can't leave this matter hanging for a long time.
Thabo Masebe, I've got to thank you for that. Thabo Masebe speaks on behalf of the Gauteng provincial government. Let me